The Legend of Oki's slow-moving ending reveals what happened to the Oki and Yuri while sending a heartwarming message that will move many viewers. The Legend of Oki's theatrical release was originally intended for February 2025, but it finally hit theaters on April 25, 2025, with early showings the day before. The film follows a girl named Yuri who befriends a young, injured Oki, a creature she was taught to hate. After taking it home and tending to its wounds, the girl spends the rest of the film trekking through the terrain of the fictional island of Carpathia with the baby Oki in her backpack, trying to find its home. Her mother, who abandoned her, steps in to help. Meanwhile, her father and his band of rifle-wielding little boys try to hunt her down because they think the creatures kidnapped her. The Legend of Oki, which debuted at the 2025 Sundance Film Festival, moves at a slow pace from start to finish, but it builds up to a tense and satisfying ending. How the Oki returns home in The Legend of Oki. Yuri helps the Oki return home even when it risks her safety. As promised by The Legend of Oki's trailer, the fantasy-adventure film follows Yuri trying to get the hurt baby Oki home to its family, so it's moving to see the creature finally reunite with its mother. The reunification is thanks to the dedication of Yuri, who puts her life on the line to protect the Oki. She's the only human who is compassionate enough to see the creature as her equal, stubborn enough to brave the elements, and foolish enough to ignore the risks. Yuri refuses to give up no matter what, protecting the Oki in the way that she wishes her parents would care for her. At the same time, she wouldn't have known where to take the baby Oki if it weren't for her mother's knowledge about the creatures and her father's assistance at the end. Yuri's mother gives her crucial information about the way the Oki communicate with one another and where they live. Additionally, her father goes against all his convictions about the creatures when helping her reach the island in the middle of the cave. Ultimately, the fact that Yuri needs her parents to get the Oki home plays into the film's core message about the importance of family. Why Yuri could speak to the Oki. Yuri's mom taught her how to speak the language as a young child. Helena Zengel with Oki on her shoulder in The Legend of Oki. One of the most delightful moments of The Legend of Oki is when Yuri figures out that she can speak to the baby Oki that she's grown attached to. Initially, it seems like the effect of the Oki bite. Her arm is swollen, blistered, and turning a bluish color similar to the skin of the Oki. However, it's later revealed that the bite has nothing to do with her abilities. The shepherd shown early in the film is eventually revealed as Yuri's mother, Dosha, and she tells the young girl that she taught her daughter to speak to the creatures when she was a toddler. Since her father spent her whole life keeping her away from the Oki, she wouldn't have known about this ability. However, her adventure with the injured baby Oki brought out her latent ability. The reason Yuri's mom left in The Legend of Oki. Maxim and Dosha don't see eye to eye on the Oki. Dosha looks out at the valley while standing by her sheep in The Legend of Oki. One of the driving forces in Yuri's character arc is the fact that her mom abandoned her. The movie is very contradictory about what happened that caused Dosha to leave. She blames Maxim for cutting off her arm and driving her away. He blames her for abandoning them. Although they never directly confirm the reason that Yuri's mom left, the movie provides clues about the truth. Dosha's basement includes the Oki's habitat, drawings of them, and information about their form of communication. This shows a dedication to learning about the creatures and respecting them. On the other hand, Maxim hates the Oki. The families give him little boys to train up as soldiers against the creatures. Rather than using them for defense, he and his army go into their habitat to hunt the Oki. He clearly views them as a danger and doesn't think they deserve to live. They seem to have such opposite, deeply held convictions about the Oki, and this could have driven a wedge between them. The biggest hint that this is the case is the fact that Dosha blames Maxim for cutting off her arm after an Oki bit her. He sees it as the only logical decision, while she's open to other ways of handling the creature's bite. Petro's betrayal of Maxim explained. Petro lets Yuri go instead of telling Maxim. Petro looks at Maxim in The Legend of Oki. One of the most interesting characters within The Legend of Oki is Petro, who is essentially Yuri's older brother. They were both raised by Maxim to hate and kill the Oki, Petro, since his family gave him to Maxim's army. Despite his conditioning, the teenage boy betrays Maxim by allowing Yuri to escape. The reasoning for this is open to interpretation. One possible explanation is that Petro sees her as a sister and trusts her. He might not want her to get in trouble with Maxim, knowing what he can be like when upset. After all, Petro warns her that she won't survive out in the forest, which seems like concern for her safety. Another interpretation is that he's stuck between two worlds and struggling to figure out which one he fits in. Yuri appears younger than Petro, and her childlike innocence gives her the optimism that she can save the Oki. Maxim, the adult in Petro's life, wants the teenage boy to be jaded and cynical when it comes to the creatures. Stuck between the childlike and adult mentalities, Petro might have had a moment where he recognized that he doesn't have to be hardened to the world and the creatures around him. Why Yuri emotionally connects with the hurt baby Oki. Yuri and the baby Oki are both hurt, lonely, and scared. The relationship between Yuri and the hurt baby Oki is the heart and soul of the legend of Oki. The two bond on an emotional level, despite being unable to speak to each other when they first meet, because Yuri sees herself in the baby Oki. While the creature is physically hurt, the little girl is emotionally hurt. Yuri longs for someone to comfort her the way that she comforts the Oki. The little girl even says she wants to run away from her dad and find her mom so that she can find someone to love her. She knows that her dad wanted a boy instead of her, creating a rift between the pair. Moreover, she recognizes that the aggression of the injured creature comes from a place of fear. Since Maxim has conditioned his daughter to fear them, she understands what the baby Oki might be feeling. Like her mom, Yuri has a degree of empathy for the thing that threatens her safety. Ultimately, the legend of Oki builds up the parallels between these two human and mythological characters, making the ending more resonant. The true meaning of the legend of Oki's ending. The legend of Oki says that reconciliation is possible even in the most unlikely circumstances. The Oki lays its head in Yuri's hand in the legend of Oki. The legend of Oki spends a good amount of time building up the conflict between Yuri, her mother, and her father. Yuri spends most of the movie feeling emotionally removed from her parents. She even tells the Oki that she doesn't miss home or them. However, the end of the legend of Oki sends the message that reconciliation is possible, even if it seems out of reach.